What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Jay Debates. I'm your host. I go by the name of Jay, and we are now on to episode 32. Whatever platform you're on, make sure you're showing love. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, review, hit the notification bell, get notified, all that. Check out the official website of this podcast, jdebates.com. We sell quality merchandise on there with everything from shirts to hoodies to windbreakers to sweatshirts, etc. It's all available on the official site. If you missed episode 31, go back and check it out. It's titled, Will the Spurs Make the Playoffs in the 24-25 season? In that episode, we looked at the improvements the Spurs made to their roster in the offseason with adding Chris Paul, Harrison Barnes, and 4th overall pick, Stephon Castle. Ultimately, we analyzed whether or not these additions would be enough to make them a playoff team. Now, on to episode 32. The question for episode 32 is, who is the third greatest shooting guard of all time, Dwyane Wade or James Harden? Again, who is the third greatest shooting guard of all time, Dwyane Wade or James Harden? NBA champion and Hall of Famer Dwyane Wade is widely believed to be the third greatest shooting guard ever, behind Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. His long list of accolades, which include multiple championships, validate these beliefs. James Harden, on the other hand, made his way into the convo after stacking up some historical seasons statistically and overall just going on a ridiculous scoring and passing run for over a decade. Just a few months ago, we saw retired NBA player and former All-Star Teague say that Harden was, in fact, better than Wade. This statement led to a bit of an uproar in the NBA community and reignited the long ongoing debate. NBA analyst Stephen A. Smith specifically wouldn't let this statement slide. Smith told Teague, and I quote, "You know better," end quote, and said that D. Wade was in fact the greater player all time. The same way these two disagree on who is truly the third greatest shooting guard is the same way fans all around the world disagree as well. Both sides confident and unwavering in their belief. But which side really is right? Let's look at the Wade side and the Harden side and finally put this debate to an end. I will compare the tools, stats, defense, accolades, and longevity before making a decision. Starting with the favorite for this title, D. Wade, he averaged 22 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, 1.5 steals, 1 block, and 3 turnovers per game for his career. He shot 48% from the field, 29% from 3, and 76.5% from the free throw line. Funny enough, Wade's playoff stats are nearly identical everywhere, aside from slight improvements in his field goal percentage, improving from 48 to 49%, his three-point percentage from 29 to 34%, and his free throw percentage from 76.5 to 78%. Therefore, it's obvious Wade upped his efficiency in the playoffs when the games mattered the most. In his best season, he put up 30 points, 7.5 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, and 3 turnovers per game on average. This was done on 57% true shooting. In his best postseason, Wade averaged 33 points, 5.6 boards, 7 assists, 1.6 steals, and 1.6 blocks on 65% true shooting. Clearly, Prime D. Wade was an efficient scoring machine who could also assist, rebound, steal, and block shots at a high or at least respectable level. Defensively, Wade was one of the better shooting guards as well. He has an impressive defensive rating of 104.3 for his career, 15th best ever for any shooting guard that has played at least 500 NBA games. He has the second most all-time blocks for his position and the most blocks all-time of any NBA player 6'4" or under. He also made the all-defensive second team 3 times in his career. While his explosive, highlight-filled offense certainly overshadowed his worth on defense, Wade still contributed on that end at a high level. Looking at his accolades, Wade is a 3-time NBA champion, 1-time Finals MVP, 1-time scoring champion, 2-time All-NBA first teamer, 8-time total All-NBA player, 3-time All-Defensive second teamer, 13-time All-Star, and of course, a first ballot Hall of Famer. Obviously, the accolades that hold the most weight are his All-NBA and All-Defensive team selections, his scoring championship, multiple NBA championships, and his Finals MVP. Wade cemented himself in the history books with his 35-point, 8-rebound, and 4-assist Finals output in 2006 when he led his Miami Heat to their first franchise championship alongside Shaquille O'Neal. While he did have LeBron for his 2 other chips, Wade still produced at a star level and was a crucial part in both winnings. These accolades display Wade's championship pedigree, defensive ability, and longevity in terms of being a top player in the league. Speaking of longevity, D. Wade played 16 seasons in the NBA and was still averaging close to 20 points in his third to last season. In season 16, Wade still averaged 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal at age 37. This was his final season. You may look at what LeBron is doing at age 39 and shrug this stat line off, but that's LeBron. Fact of the matter is, it's not normal for players in their mid to late 30s to be putting up those types of numbers Wade did. Not saying it's jaw-dropping, but Wade clearly earned his longevity stamp with the numbers he put up towards the end of his career. Now, on to the beard, James Harden. Harden currently averages 24 points, 5.6 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.5 steals, and 4 turnovers for his career. He's a career 44% field goal shooter, 36% three-point shooter, and 86% free throw shooter. In the playoffs, Harden averages 23 points, 5.5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1.6 steals, 3 turnovers, and is shooting 42.5% from the field, 34% from 3, and 87% from the free throw line. Harden's postseason points, assists, and rebounds do take a slight dip across the board, and his shooting efficiency does drop overall, but these decreases are again small, and he does increase his steals average while also averaging almost 1 less turnover per game. In Harden's best season, he averaged a ridiculous 36 points per game, 6.6 rebounds, 7.5 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, and 5 turnovers on 61.6% true shooting. 36 points on 61.6% true shooting. He's one of only 4 players in NBA history to average at least 36 points in a season and holds the highest true shooting percentage while averaging the 36 points, beating Jordan's true shooting percentage by more than 5%. Ironically, this wasn't even the season that Harden won his first and only MVP award. Harden won the award the season prior despite averaging less points, less steals, and less rebounds due to the Rockets' adding top 10 all-time point guard Chris Paul, and winning a franchise best 65 games in that season. As much flack as Harden has caught for his lack of defense, whether effort or skill, it might surprise you that Harden actually has a pretty good defensive rating for his career at 108. This is a better defensive rating than defensive players such as Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, and Patrick Beverley. Hey, maybe Pat Bev is a magician after all. Obviously, though, the context behind this is missing with the three I just mentioned, tending to guard the opposing team's best or second best player, while Harden, on the other hand, is almost never assigned that role, meaning getting stops for him is generally easier. My point in comparing his rating to the others is that Harden, for his career, has shown that he can get stops and should be deemed an average defender. Stat-wise, although he averages less than one career block per game, he does average almost 2 steals per game for his career, which is respectable. For accolades, Harden is a 1-time MVP, 10-time All-Star, 1-time Sixth Man of the Year, 3-time scoring champ, 2-time assist champ, 6-time All-NBA First Teamer, 3-time All-NBA Third Teamer, and 7-time total All-NBA player. Harden's most valuable accolades are his MVP award, 6 All-NBA First Team selections, and multiple scoring and assist championships. Harden's accolades show just how much of a problem he was when he was at his best. His ability to be the best scorer and passer multiple seasons is something truly incredible and historical. Despite being 34, Harden still averaged 16.6 points, 5 rebounds, and 8.5 assists in his last season. This coming after averaging at least 21 points for the past decade. To still be averaging a near 16-point double-double at his relatively old age, it's impressive, and it shows he has longevity, not star-level longevity, but above average longevity for sure. The same thing I stated about Wade's longevity can also be said for Harden. It's not normal for players in their mid to late 30s to be putting up those types of numbers. Now that both sides have been thoroughly looked into, a decision must be made. But before we make that decision, let's go ahead and compare what we've talked about. Firstly, although Harden averages more turnovers than Wade, holds the single season record for most turnovers per game, and shoots a lower field goal percentage for his career, Harden does average the better numbers across the board, having a higher point, rebound, assist, and true shooting average. Wade does, however, keep his playoff output almost identical to his seasonal output while increasing his shooting percentages in field goal, free throw, and three-point attempts. Harden is the complete opposite, as his numbers slightly dip across the board and his shooting efficiency as well. So Wade stepped up his game more when it counted. Regardless, Harden's superior career stats, best season stats, and ridiculously high scoring level and passing display that he put on for almost a decade, while still being one of the better rebounders for his two-guard position, wins him the stat category. Defensively, not only does Wade possess 3 all-defensive team selections to Harden's 0, he also has a higher career defensive rating and is the second best shot blocking shooting guard ever. Therefore, Wade clears defensively. I mentioned earlier that Wade's most valuable accolades were his All-NBA and All-Defensive Team selections, his scoring championship, multiple NBA championships, and his Finals MVP. For Harden, I said his were his MVP award, 6 All NBA first team selections, and multiple scoring and assist championships. While Harden has the MVP, All NBA first team selections, and scoring and assist championships over D Wade, Wade has all defensive team selections, 3 championships, and a finals MVP over Harden. Wade's championships and finals MVP earned him the accolade category over Harden. Lastly, viewing that Wade played till the age of 37 and Harden is still only 34, it remains to be seen if Harden will be able to play at or above the level Wade did at that age. Therefore, comparing Wade at age 34 to Harden, Wade averaged more points, but Harden averaged more rebounds, assists, and shot a higher true shooting percentage. So, the longevity goes to Harden. If you weren't keeping score, Harden won stats and longevity, while Wade won accolades and defense. Now it's time to make a decision. In the case of who the third greatest shooting guard of all time is, I must say it is Dwyane Wade. While Harden did beat Wade in 2 of the 4 categories, making it an even split, greatness is about winning and stats, not just stats. Wade has an illustrious 3 championships, where he again was a crucial part in all of them, but he was the most crucial part in the one he won at just age 24, where he won his finals MVP award in his 3rd NBA season. He's the 7th youngest player ever to win the award and the youngest shooting guard to ever do it. Wade has more championships than Harden has trips to the finals alone. This and his other 2 championships overpower the fact that Harden was better statistically, made 4 more All-NBA first teams, and won an MVP award. Not to mention, Wade clearing Harden in defense is more powerful than Harden simply beating Wade in longevity at his current age of 34. Again, similar to what I said in the Curry versus Magic episode, I said Curry is the better player, but Magic is the greater player. Curry beat Magic in offense and in defense, but Magic had the far better accolades. He was better statistically, in my opinion, but he has a much better winning percentage. In fact, the best winning percentage. And that's what makes a player a greater player. There's plenty of players who have came and just dominated statistically. But when you look at that ESPN top all-time list, or any top all-time list, it doesn't even have to be ESPN. You see the usual suspects. You see LeBron, you see Jordan, you see Kobe, you see Kareem, you see Bill Russell, you see all of these all-time greats. And the thing that all of these players have in common is that they didn't just dominate the game statistically. They dominated the game in terms of winning as well. Harden, unfortunately, did dominate the game statistically, but did not ever dominate the game in terms of winning. He has no championships till this day, and there's no telling if he's going to get one before he retires. Harden is a great player. He's an all-time great player, but he cannot be placed over D Wade. If he were to win a championship or 2, then we will be having a different conversation. But at the end of the day, it's just not a thing. Better player, yes. Greater player, no. So, there you have it. The verdict is in. I thank you all for listening till the very end. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't care what platform you're on. Make sure you're being notified and stay tuned for more episodes. I am looking at all of the comments I'm getting. I appreciate it, and I also value the the advice and the insights that you guys are bringing to my channel. I still work, so it takes me a while, but I try to read all of them. I try to get back to all of them. I do appreciate all of the support, and I do see it. And just keep staying tuned, because I'm gonna keep dropping new content. So just make sure you're being notified again. This is Jay the Bass, and I'm out.